Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India mourns the passing away of former Prime Minister and face of 1991 economic reforms, Dr. Manmohan Singh. 7-day state mourning announced. South Korea's parliament impeaches acting president Han Duck-soo, escalating the political crisis in the country. And Israel strikes Houthi targets in Yemen, including at the Sana'a International Airport, killing 6 people. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will continue its mission until it is complete. India mourns the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, who passed away on Thursday night. President Draupadi Murmu led the nation in paying tributes to the former Prime Minister. She arrived at Dr. Singh's residence at 3 Motilal Nehru Marg and paid her respectful homage to the former Prime Minister of the country. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar also reached his residence to pay his tribute to the former Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid his last respects to former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh at his residence of 3 Motilal Nehru Marg in the national capital. In a post on X, the Prime Minister said, India will forever remember Manmohan Singh's contribution to the nation. Other leaders, including Home Minister Amit Shah, along with the Union Minister and National President of the Bharatiya Janata Party, JP Nadda, paid their respects to the departing soul at his residence. Earlier, in a social media post on X, Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared photographs of his meeting with Dr. Singh. The Prime Minister wrote on social media platform X, and I quote him, India mourns the loss of one of its most distinguished leaders, Dr. Manmohan Singh ji. Rising from humble origins, he rose to become a respected economist. He served in various government positions as well, including as finance minister, leaving a strong imprint on our economic policy over the years. His interventions in Parliament were also insightful. As our Prime Minister, he made extensive efforts to improve people's lives. Unquote. In his condolence message on the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister Modi talked about his inspirational life and the contributions he has made to the country's progress.
पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी के निधन ने हम सभी के हृदय को गहरी पीड़ा पहुंचाई है। उनका जाना एक राष्ट्र के रूप में भी हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति है। विभाजन के उस दौर में बहुत कुछ खोकर भारत आना और यहाँ जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में उपलब्धियां हासिल करना ये सामान्य बात नहीं है। अभावों और संघर्षों से ऊपर उठकर कैसे ऊंचाइयों को हासिल किया जा सकता है, उनका जीवन ये सीख भावी पीढ़ी को देता रहेगा। एक अर्थशास्त्री के रूप में उन्होंने अलग अलग स्तर पर भारत सरकार में अनेक सेवाएं दी। एक चुनौतीपूर्ण समय में उन्होंने रिजर्व बैंक के गवर्नर की भूमिका निभाई। पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री भारत रत्न श्री पीवी नरसिम्हा राव जी की सरकार के वित्त मंत्री रहते हुए उन्होंने वित्तीय संकट से घिरे देश को एक नई अर्थव्यवस्था के मार्ग पर प्रशस्त किया। प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में देश के विकास में और प्रगति में उनके योगदान को हमेशा याद किया जाएगा।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always held high regard for former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. PM's speech in Rajya Sabha in February this year stands out as an example. It was when the upper house met to pay gratitude to the members who were retiring, a list that also included Dr. Singh. He recalled how Dr. Singh, despite health challenges, came to cast his vote, setting an inspiring example of responsibility.
जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने अपने जीवन को कंडक्ट किया होता है, जिस प्रकार की प्रतिभा के दर्शन उन्होंने अपने कार्यकाल में कराए होते हैं, उसका हमने एक गाइडिंग लाइट के रूप में सीखने के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए। मुझे याद है उस सदन के अंदर लास्ट कुछ दिनों में एक वोटिंग का अवसर था। विषय तो मैं छूट गया मेरा, लेकिन पता था कि विजय ट्रेजरी बैंक की होने वाली है। अंतर भी बहुत था, लेकिन डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी व्हील चेयर में आए, वोट किया। एक सांसद अपने दायित्व के लिए कितना सजग है, उसका वो उदाहरण है। वो प्रेरक उदाहरण था। इतना ही नहीं, मैं देख रहा था कभी कमिटी के चुनाव हुए, कमिटी मेंबर्स के, वो व्हीलचेयर में वोट देने आए। सवाल ये नहीं है कि वो किसको ताकत देने के लिए आए थे। मैं मानता हूं वो लोकतंत्र को ताकत देने आए थे।
Meanwhile, the Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, passed a condolence resolution in the memory of Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister. The Cabinet paid homage to Dr. Manmohan Singh by observing a 2-minute silence. A 7-day state mourning has been declared till January 1st, 2025. During the mourning period, the national flag will fly half-mast throughout the country. The national flag will also fly half-mast in all the Indian missions and high commissions abroad till 1st of January 2025. Dr. Manmohan Singh will be accorded a state funeral. On the day of the state funeral, a half-day holiday will be declared in all the central government offices and CPSUs. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge mourned the loss of a lifelong senior colleague in Dr. Manmohan Singh. In a post on X, he wrote that with the passing of the former Prime Minister, India has lost a visionary statesman, a leader of great integrity and an economist of unparalleled stature. The leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, also reached the former Prime Minister's home to pay his tributes. Congress MPs Sonia Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi were also in attendance. Condolences have also poured in from across the globe following the demise of Dr. Manmohan Singh. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken offered his condolences to the former Indian Prime Minister, calling him one of the greatest champions of US-India strategic partnership. Leaders from countries including Afghanistan, Maldives, Russia and Canada expressed deep grief over Dr. Singh's passing, highlighting his contributions and warm relations with their nations. China's Foreign Ministry on Friday expressed condolences over the passing of former Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, saying he had made positive contributions to India-China relations.
As a senior statesman and renowned economist in India, Mr. Singh has made positive contributions to the development of China-India relations. During his tenure as Prime Minister, China and India announced the establishment of a strategic cooperative partnership for peace and prosperity and reached an agreement on the political guiding principles for the settlement of the border issue. China expresses deep condolences on his death and sincere condolences to the Indian government and people as well as the family of Mr. Singh.
Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was also known as the architect of India's economic liberalization, passed away on Thursday night at the age of 92. He breathed his last at AIIMS New Delhi emergency ward after being in a critical condition. He retired from Rajya Sabha in April 2024. Despite his age-related illness, Dr. Singh attended some sessions of Parliament in a wheelchair, a rare display of dedication by the 92-year-old academician and economic strategist. Here's a look at the life and times of late Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Manmohan Singh, a pioneering economic administrator, statesman, and India's third longest-serving Prime Minister, passed away at the age of 92. A towering figure in India's public life, his remarkable journey from humble beginnings to shaping the nation's economic and political landscape will be remembered for generations to come. Born on the 26th of September in the year 1932 in a village in Punjab province of undivided India, Singh excelled in studies despite limited resources. He won a place at Cambridge University before heading to Oxford, earning a doctorate with a thesis on the role of exports and free trade in India's economy. His book, India's Export Trends and Prospects for Self-Sustained Growth, was an early critique of India's inward-oriented trade policy. His academic credentials were burnished by his years on the faculty of Punjab University and the prestigious Delhi School of Economics. In the year 1971, Singh joined the Government of India as an economic advisor in the Commerce Ministry. This was soon followed by his appointment as the Chief Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Finance in 1972. Among the many governmental positions that Manmohan Singh occupied were the Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Advisor of the Prime Minister, and Chairman of the University Grants Commission. He was nominated to the Rajya Sabha for the first time by the Congress Party in October 1991, 4 months after he became the Union Finance Minister. He represented Assam for 5 terms in the Rajya Sabha and shifted to Rajasthan in 2019. His last term that ended in April this year. He was the Prime Minister for 2 successive terms. One of the biggest highlights of Singh's regime was securing the India-US civil nuclear agreement that opened up civilian nuclear cooperation. Manmohan Singh led the UPA government delivered about 8.5% GDP growth. The 2 UPA regimes led by Manmohan Singh are credited with the launch of social welfare initiatives such as guaranteed job schemes, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee, and the right to education for every child. Dr. Manmohan Singh's years as Prime Minister were, however, marred with scams like 2G, CWG, and coal block allocations. Despite the late hiccups, Singh's image as a clean leader remained untarnished. He will be remembered as the architect of India's tryst with economic liberalization and sustained economic growth. Bureau Report, DD India.
Indian banks' profitability continue to rise. According to a report by India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, banks' profitability rose for the 6th consecutive year in 2023-24 and it continues to rise in 2024-25 with the return on assets at 1.4% and return on equity at 14.6%. Asset quality improved with the gross non-performing assets ratio falling to its lowest in 13 years at 2.7% at end March 2024 and 2.5% at end September 2024. RBI said that the capital position of banks remained satisfactory as reflected in key parameters like leverage ratio and capital to risk weighted assets ratio. The net bad loans of banks fell to 0.57% of total loans at September end from 0.62% at end March, driven by stronger loan loss buffers. The asset quality of non-bank finance companies also improved further in 2023-24 amid a sustained double-digit balance sheet growth. The net profit of the scheduled commercial banks increased by 32.8% to 3,49,603 crore rupees during the last fiscal. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. UN Chief Antonio Guterres urges Mozambican leaders to diffuse unrest amid October's disputed elections. And in cricket, India lose quick wickets in opening session of the first innings on day 2 after bowling Australia out for 474.
This year, the world of sports gave unforgettable moments that will forever echo in the halls of glory. From Paris Olympics 2024 to India's trailblazing success at the Paralympics, chess prodigy Gukesh conquering the world. India ended a long way to bring home the T20 World Cup glory. And on the European stage, Spain proved their dominance yet again. Relive the drama, the triumphs and the passion that defined Sports Saga 2024.
You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. South Korean Parliament impeached the acting president Han Duck-soo on Friday as the country struggles to shake off political turmoil sparked by his predecessor's martial law declaration that shocked the world. Han Duck-soo took over as acting president from President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was suspended following a parliamentary vote over his move to impose martial law on December 3rd. However, opposition MPs demanded Han, who is also Prime Minister, be removed from office as well, arguing that he had refused demands to complete Yoon's impeachment process and to bring him to justice. Counting for the impeachment was delayed as ruling People's Power Party (PPP) lawmakers protested in Parliament after the Speaker Wu said only a simple majority was needed in the 300-member Parliament to proceed with the impeachment. PPP lawmakers began chanting angrily and many rushed towards Wu demanding that he resign. They did not take part in the vote. It became the second impeachment of a South Korean head of state in just 2 weeks, adding to the turmoil of the country's dynamic political landscape. Meanwhile, South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok said on Friday that the government has ordered the military to step up vigilance, raising the possibility that North Korea could take advantage of South's political situation to carry out acts of provocation. And the lawyer representing South Korea's embattled president Yoon Suk-yeol said that the suspended leader plans to appear in court in person for an impeachment trial.
Yoon Suk-yeol will attend the impeachment trial by himself and speak. We reviewed each regulation, but the court's attempts to send documents cannot be considered as illegal. More people are joining legal team and many people are applying, so the team will be finalized soon.
Indeed, India's Amritpal Singh joins us for more on the story. Amritpal, what does simultaneous impeachment of both the president and acting president in just 2 weeks say about the political uncertainty in the country?
Oh, it's added to the political instability, and not only, the government is in limbo, the economies are directly getting affected. The currency is at a 16-year low. With such kind of political instability, foreign direct investment clearly gets affected. So a Korean economy, which generally is considered a strong economy in Asia, is the direct victim of that. The effect is directly evident on the Korean economy. Of course, political instability means the decision making comes to a stall. So it is really causing economic instability and political instability, and it directly affects the foreign relations that country has with other world powers. Tanvi?
Okay, and we saw the ruling People's Power Party questioning the speaker about the Han Duck-soo, the acting president's impeachment. Why was that?
Okay, now their argument is a legal argument. Now to the Korean parliament very clearly says that for the president, the first step towards impeaching a president is that 2/3 of the parliament must vote. But Han Duck-soo was the Prime Minister appointed as acting president in accordance with the Constitution. Once the president is impeached and suspended, the Prime Minister takes over. Now, the PPP, or the ruling party, is arguing that he is not being impeached as Prime Minister. He's being impeached as acting president. Therefore, they need 2/3 of the majority to impeach him. So they've taken the matter to the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court will rule over it. Han Duck-soo has said that I will remain suspended till and await the court's ruling on that. The Prime Minister can be removed by simple majority. In this case, 192 out of 300 voted, which is above the simple majority, but it's short of the 2/3 majority. So that is the argument that the ruling party is making.
Okay, the Constitutional Court is also hearing President Yoon Suk Yeol's impeachment. What is the progress on that, Amrit?
The progress on that is that the court has made that statement that it will swiftly try Yeol's case, but the problem there is it is a 9-member constitutional court which has only 6 sitting members. There are 3 vacancies there. Now, it's not very clear that for an impeachment, do they need a full court, which the opposition has been stressing upon, been asking Han Duck-soo to appoint, and because he was delaying, saying there is no consensus. The Constitutional Court has to first rule that can an incomplete court look at that. Now, if because of its implications, say if there are only 6 right now, say 1 dissents, Yule is reinstated. So they have to address first the question of whether they have to interpret the Constitution and say, can an incomplete or a 6-member court go ahead with it? If it does go ahead, do they need 2/3 of the 6, or do they need 6? Because the Constitution says 6 out of 9. So that has to be interpreted. Then the court has to start the trial of Yoon. So first the law has to be interpreted. Then the particular case in question has to be adjudicated upon. So that is why it's sort of getting delayed. They have about 6 months, 180 days to do so. 14th December is when he was, impeached, and so they have to now move forward on that account. They have about 5.5 months to go.
We leave it here. Thank you very much, Amrit, for explaining the South Korean politics to us. Now, in the latest escalation in West Asia conflict, Israel struck multiple targets linked to Houthis in Yemen, including the Sana'a International Airport, leaving at least 6 people dead. In addition to striking the airport, the Israeli military said it also targeted military infrastructure at ports on Yemen's west coast and 2 power stations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to continue its mission until it was complete. Defense Minister Katz added that Israel will continue attacking Houthis to remove threats to the state of Israel.
We have just seen a precise operation by the Israeli Air Force hitting specific Houthi targets in Yemen, at the airport, at the port. As we said, whoever hurts Israel, we will hurt him. We will hunt down all the Houthi leaders, hit them as we have done elsewhere. No one will be able to escape Israel's long measure. We will attack them in order to remove threats to the state of Israel.
Israel's retaliatory strikes come as Houthis have repeatedly attacked the country with drones and missiles since the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Israel will continue its mission until it is complete, adding that his country is determined to root out terrorist arm of Iran's axis of evil.
A little while ago, the Air Force attacked targets of the Houthi terrorist organization in Yemen, both on the coastline and in Sana'a. We are determined to root out this terrorist arm of Iran's axis of evil. We will persist in this until we complete the job.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged Mozambique's political leaders to ease tensions that led to the civil unrest linked to October's disputed election. A recent prison riot in the country's capital Maputo resulted in 33 deaths and 15 injuries, while Mozambique's top court decision on Monday confirming long-ruling party Frelimo's victory in the election sparked fresh nationwide protests by opposition groups and their supporters who claimed that the vote was rigged. Now, the UN chief's spokesperson said in a press briefing that the Secretary General is concerned about the post-election violence, which has resulted in the loss of lives and destruction of public and private property in Mozambique. The much-anticipated 16th CEC Cup ice hockey tournament has kicked off in India's hilly town of Kargil on Friday. The opening ceremony witnessed an impressive gathering of sports enthusiasts, local dignitaries and community members. The tournament, which aims to promote winter sports and foster local talent, has garnered immense enthusiasm from players and spectators alike. This year, the tournament features 38 teams from Kargil district, including 32 boys teams and 6 girls teams, marking a significant representation of youth in the region's sporting activities. And in cricket, India suffered a disastrous run-out and Scott Boland took 2 wickets to leave the visitors in major trouble on day 2 of the 4th test against Australia. India were 164 runs for the loss of 5 wickets at stumps, trailing by 310 runs. Rishabh Pant was not out at 6 and Ravindra Jadeja on 4 as 3 wickets in the final half hour halted India's momentum. Scott Boland and skipper Pat Cummins grabbed 2 wickets each, while Yashasvi Jaiswal was run out. Earlier, Australia put up a daunting first innings score of 474 runs on the back of Steve Smith's century. Smith recorded his 34th test ton on way to 140 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. That's it in this broadcast. But before we go, India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you want great content for free, you can download Waves today. That's it in this broadcast. You can connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.